Welcome back to Houzz TV Live. I'm Rick Spence, and with me today is Jennifer Kizzee with Jennifer Kizzee Design outside beautiful Houston, Texas, doing amazing design. And she's been kind enough to share with us her own beautiful kitchen. I love this kitchen, Jennifer, because you repurposed quite a bit of the original cabinetry, and it looks completely different. It was so dark and weighted down. What was your strategy around what you could keep, what you couldn't keep? What was, the biggest thing you wanted to change? Give me the overview.
We had actually bigger plans, for the space. Wanted to take everything, absolutely down and start from scratch. But then we were in the middle of a pandemic. So there was a lot of things, up in the air. We didn't know what was going to happen. So I still wanted to do the reno, but I wanted to play it safe. Just transform this kitchen by utilizing 80% of the stuff that it's already here. Basically customize some of these, cabinets and say, how can I make these things more accessible? We created more drawers, to allow for storage and for some of the things that we like to do, baking and cooking. And I love organizing things. So I needed to make all that happen with very little disruption. And I needed that feel of walking more into heaven, type of deal. So we took cabinets, we light them up with a Repose, gray color, which is one of my favorites. Anything blue, if you look at our website, you'll see that most of our work, there's some type of blue. I always say we have all the 50 shades of blue on our site. And we created some open shelving. We brought some natural elements. I love that organic feel of the white oak and wicker and things like that. So we were able to bring a lot of those elements, to give this place, a complete different look.
I love what you did too with using that tile and completely doing the entire wall with the tile. And it's sort of a beveled look. Tell me about that tile on the wall.
This specific tile, it's a 5x7 subway tile that is from Italy, actually. And it has that, bevel feel. And you said, we went and tiled the entire thing just because I couldn't see just in a section with it. I just wanted to go bold. So we went in between the doors, above the door, and all the way to the ceilings. And we have 10-foot ceilings over here. So that was a little, that was a lot of tile. My husband looked at me like, oh, you want to go up the door and between the door? And I said, yes. So I think that was, that's definitely my favorite part of this kitchen, how, bright and happy and fun, it looks really fun when you look at, that side of the kitchen. I also have to mention we replaced our window because we wanted to, allow for more natural light as well. And I think the color and, make things very kind of sad and dreary. And now that, it's a completely different space.
I love that wall too, because that tile is so bright and vibrant, but then you balance it with the nice warm wood open shelving there.
Yes, absolutely. And again, you can be subtle, and I feel like every kitchen has to have a space where you can display the pretty, right? It could be your grandmother's china. It could be, little decor, from your favorite, retail stores and things like that. And to me, it's like I just wanted to see, just something, right? Because it is a big wall with a lot of talent. Something had to kind of bring it down.
All right, let's go into some of the bigger materials. Tell me about your countertop and some of your hardware choices in the space as well.
I was one of those people that had marble on the kitchen island. So my kids absolutely destroyed that marble. It had so many stains, and I wanted to get something similar, but I wanted something durable with zero maintenance. So we went with a quartz. I wanted something nice and bright and with some, movement. This is called Calacara Verona. All of that veining, it's subtle, but also very pretty. And it just felt right, with the flooring that I also put down in the house.
It looks perfect with that paint color too. What was that paint color again?
Repose Gray from Sherwin-Williams.
That is a beautiful kitchen color.
It is. And I get a lot of compliments, right? Because it's just not your typical white kitchen. Everybody, even our clients did white kitchens, but I didn't want to go so stark. I wanted a little bit of something. And as you know, I'm a big fan of blue, so I had to squeeze that in somehow. And I did it with the paint.
Let's talk about your lighting in the space. You have some nice lighting above the island and then a beautiful chandelier above the dining area. So tell me about your lighting strategy and how you did that.
I went with an LED can light that allows you to change the temperature setting. And that made a huge difference in the space. You know, it was very yellowy, and you know, lighting is everything in the interior design world. So we did a lot of that, and that alone did it, right? Like it just made, you know, my kitchen look like that heaven I was looking for. And then we went with cone lighting, pendants above the island, and we went with something more transitional over the dining / breakfast table. There's a lot of brass going on. I'm a huge fan, as you can see, but I had the ability to mix metals, but I really wanted brass everywhere.
Is that a new cabinet there that you had made for that space next to the sink?
It is. It was just a sheetrock frame, opening just to allow for an oven and a microwave to live there. There was nothing right above it, so there was a lot of wasted space. So we came up with this idea of build that cabinet out of white oak and took it all the way to the ceiling. And now it houses the oven and a microwave. Everything above it is just a bunch of storage. And that's where we have all of our cookie pan sheets and appliances that we don't get to use every day. So we took down a big section of cabinet on that wall, but we compensated that with that cabinet.
And for the floors, tell me about your floors. The floors are manufactured, an engineered floor of some sort, because they look like a natural wood to me.
Well, that's great that you're saying that, because I was trying to achieve the look of the engineered hardwood floors, but they're actually luxury vinyl planks, what they call LVP. It's a waterproof product, stain resistant, scratch resistant, kid friendly, pet friendly, and I just had to have them. And basically the same story of not wanting to have marble because of all the maintenance, and I don't want to be stressed out about my kids not touching things and actually live in the space. And it was the same thing with the floors. We wanted something that looked like European white oak, but without the upkeep of it. And I can tell you that I love it. I don't get to mop these floors, hardly ever. I do have a little robot vacuum, and he does all the job for me. So I love it.
Yeah, just set the robots free in there. They clean everything for you. I'm amazed at how good the LVP is starting to look now.
It is. It's really come a long way, from where it was. I would say probably the word vinyl kind of scares people away sometimes, but because they kind of connect that with linoleum, if you remember that.
Oh yeah, the word linoleum scares the heck out of people.
Absolutely. So I always say, but wait, there's more. This is a great product, and you're seeing this type of flooring going into million dollar homes, because the same thing, right? I want hardwood floors, but I have this massive dog, and I don't want to be worried about the scratches.
It looks amazing in this space. Tell me about when I look to the left of the stove. You also did something on the wall there. Is that a wallpaper? What is that?
That is so interesting that you're catching all those details, because when we finished the kitchen, that wall was completely white, and I think we had a bench or something, and it was basically the hallway. Something had to happen there. So I said, okay, I'm going to do something a little bit more bold on that wall. So we created a wainscoting that is about 5 feet off the floor, painted it in a darker kind of medium type of blue. And we used this vinyl wallpaper that has this kind of leaf, sunbirds, feel. And that gave it, the whole space, more of a complete, finished look. And by the way, it's washable. So
of course,
here is like low maintenance. But
do you come in your kitchen just with a garden hose and just spray everything down now? Is it all?
Pretty much. With
the power washer.
I know. My kids line up and they get washed away.
You spray them down at the same time, So I know the backsplash and your wonderful subway tile is one of your favorite features. What are some of your other top favorites in the space that you're so glad you did in your kitchen?
I would probably say the vent hood, just having a more defined area to cook. My kitchen, it is a very big rectangle, if you will. So the spot from my range to the sink, it's about, I don't know, maybe 10 plus steps. So I put a pot filler right there. We did a little bit more of plumbing just to allow for that. So I don't have to go all the way around my kitchen to go and fill up a pot for pasta, right? That's one of my favorite features. It's something simple, right? It's not something new, but it was just new to me. So there's one more thing that we did, and that was basically lowering our bar area to counter height. We wanted to have more of a consistent, height throughout the kitchen, nook, type of feel. And we put basically 2 extra stools there. In our house, we don't have an actual formal dining space. So this is it, right? Everything that you see, that's my kitchen, that's my breakfast, dining, and everything else in between.
It's also not completely open. You still have some separation between your living area there, as well as your dining and kitchen. Tell me about that, because sometimes it might get wide open, but you chose to kind of keep that pony wall there and adjacent to the living area.
Yes, and that is a great point. You have a really great eye. I kept it because I didn't really gain anything by opening that up, because that faces the back of my sectional. So I had the opportunity to either take it down and put a piece of furniture there, or leave it and close it off by adding, doors to that open shelving unit that you see between those columns. And I went for that. And that's where all of my cake holders and the stuff that I don't get to use maybe once a year. So that's why, I kept it. I wanted to still, feel like it was an open concept, but having that piece, it's my sideboard.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. Beautiful, family-friendly little touch of heaven. And I can't wait to see more of your work you do with your clients. Great job.
Thank you so much. It was really fun sharing it with you.
Okay, hopefully we'll do it again sometime. See you.
Bye.